Okay, here we are on video 3 for the web design students that are looking at trying to repurpose the Word document into a website. When we left last time, I was kind of wondering why we were getting this problem here with the footer still in yellow when I'd actually, in the code here, I'd given the footer a separate div that didn't have any specifications. And in the interim, while I've been doing this preparation, I've realized that there's a little glitch in this site that I didn't mention before. So I'll go back to my code again here, and I should have put a carriage return in here, and I should have put a closing p tag on this paragraph here, and I should have put an opening p tag in here. But notice this, what we've got here with this div. So we actually want to display the word div with the angled brackets either side, but if we try and put in the angled brackets, then the browser is going to think that it's actually a bit of HTML code. So we've got to find another way of doing this, and the technique here is to replace these angled brackets with a bit of special code that the browser recognizes to render as the angled brackets. So how we put this in is we have an ampersand, LT for less than, and that those that do mathematics will recognize that it's the angled bracket facing that way is a less than symbol, and we'll put in a semicolon, and now that bit of code there is telling the browser that that's actually an opening angled bracket, and to display that, and I'll copy that and then paste that in here. And of course, if I left that like that, it would actually make it another angled bracket facing that way, but we want to have the greater than symbol here. So if I now save that, with a bit of luck, this is going to fix that problem, and it will, here where it's got the word elements, it's going to have that div in front of it, and there we go. So now we're actually rendering the word div, and we've got the footer in a separate div. So you can see any little error that comes up is going to cause you all sorts of problems. So if you've got any little thing that's throwing the code out, it will cause you problems. Now, just to make this even more clear, I'll just take that, I had that class put in here. This is called an inline class, an inline bit of CSS rather. So I'll copy that, I'll cut that out of here, and I'll put it in the sidebar div. So I'll paste that in here, and I'll change it from yellow to pink so we have a different color so we can see things happening here. And we'll save this, and then I'll go back and refresh this, and you can see now that the menu has a pink background and the rest of it's gone back to white. So now you can start to see how these divs are actually creating the document the way we want it. Now if I go to my my guide again, my learning guide, here's how we've got it set up. So we've started to put the divs in, and now we need to put the styling in. And later on in the document, this is all the text I put in previously. Later on in the document, I started putting some styling in, but this is this actual style here. So if I copy this out here, this is actually applying to the text. So I'll copy that style there. I'll right click on that, copy, and I'll paste that into my notepad file up here in the head. Now this is where is the CSS, if it's in your document, has to be in the head. So if I paste in here after the title, before the closing head tag, so I've got my style declaration here, and oh, there's a little funny thing happening here. I've actually picked up the page number, so I'll just delete that out of there. And down here I've got the closing style tag, and in between I've got some styling for heading 1s, for paragraphs, and for paragraphs with the class poem, which we don't have any of, but I'll leave that in for the time being. Save that, and I'll go back now to my browser and refresh this now and see if that makes any difference. Now you can see the big difference here is that all those heading 1s have changed the font. It's become a sans serif font with a different shade of black, and the paragraphs again have changed from Times New Roman to a different font. Let's go and look at what that font is. It's it's actually Verdana. If we haven't got Verdana, it's the browser, the instruction is saying use Arial. If we haven't got Arial, use Helvetica. If we haven't got Helvetica, use sans serif. So that's the start of our styling there. Let's just go back to our guide again here, our learning guide, and see what else we had in here. We had a bit more styling. So we had actually got some styling for the containers here. For the divs rather. And so I'll copy them too, and I'll paste them. I just need to make sure I get every bit here. Copy that and paste that into our CSS code here, which is, I've got to get it in just before the closing style tag, so I'll paste it in here, and let's see what that's doing now. So I'll go back to my browser again and refresh that, and now you can see that's made a dramatic difference. So we've got the header up here, the menu goes here, the styling, the content goes there, and the footer is down the bottom. Okay, so I'll stop that video at that point, and that's really showing you how you're advancing this now to a stage where you can really control the position and the size of these div elements, which is the key to getting this right.